200 million cedis budget overdraft. A sports ministry triggers questions of corruption. A Speaker of Parliament demands action into what he terms the damning report.
I can tell you that the report is damning. Without taking part in the debate, corruption is corruption and it must be fought.
And we're here from Under Pressure Sector Minister Elvis Ankra.
This is Top Story with Evans Mensah.
Top Story is brought to you by Bond Financial Services. Your success, our passion. Belacra Mineral Water, the new generation mineral water. It's also brought to you by Lifebuoy, still 100% better germ protection, and Blue Rose Limited, shelter for all. It's a damning report that the Speaker of Parliament says points to possible corruption that must be uprooted. In question is a staggering 200 million cedis budget overdraft by the Youth and Sports Ministry that MPs say cannot be accounted for. The Sports Ministry had gained notoriety for being a hub for deep-seated corruption that had in the past caused the incarceration of Sector Minister Malam Issa, jailed for causing financial loss to the state. So when it emerged today that the ministry overdrawn its 2012 budget by nearly 200 million cedis, it got the MPs agitated, compelling the Speaker of Parliament to demand proper scrutiny of the figures to ensure that any corruption is detected and punished. MP for Nchumamponia Isaac Esiama makes no words in challenging the figures.
We gave the ministry 53,165,965 million Ghana cedis for 2012. The Speaker, the cumulative expenditure for 2012, the Speaker, is 240,99310 million Ghana cedis. The Speaker, a whopping difference of 187 million Ghana cedis. The Speaker, this is over expenditure. The Speaker, this is highly unacceptable. The Speaker, this is total financial indiscipline. That should not be condoned by this House. The Speaker, it's so sad. The Speaker, and the irony, the sadness, the most damaging sort of it, the Speaker, when we call for documentations, how did it come about? Which enterprises companies they get to? The Speaker, as we speak, as we talking about, I don't have a single documentation on how this amount was expended. So, Speaker, this is dangerous. As I speak, not a single document has been produced by the ministry. And we asked for it. The minister indeed assured us that we are going to make them available the following day. We start Saturday, we start Friday, following day never came. As we speak, the Speaker, not a single document has been produced to the committee. So, where did the money go? Where is the money, the Speaker? Who has spent it? Under what circumstance?
Now, the gravity of the issues forced an intervention from the Speaker, Doa Jaho, whose main concern was a potential corruption highlighted by the budget overdraft.
He goes to examine an estimate of a ministry and they ask for information. And the member is saying that they sat on site over the weekends and they asked for information. And it was not provided the issue and he's raising it. I don't see how he's out of order. An honorable member on the floor made a statement and made a reference to a certain report. I have to decide whether to allow him to go in that direction. That's why I asked him, and he made the report available to me. And I can tell you that the report is damning. Without taking part in the debate, corruption is corruption, and it must be fought.
Now, this latest controversy about the taxpayers' money really comes barely 24 hours after that 47 million cedi controversy surrounding the SADA expenditure into guinea fowl and afforestation indeed raised a few eyebrows and questions are being asked of that. Now, before even that debate ends, we have this one also propping up that indeed the MPs are interrogating. Joining us on the line right now is the Youth and Sports and Culture Minister Elvis Ankra. Thank you, sir, for your time here on Top Story. I'm told the line just dropped there. We'll try and get him back and put a few questions to him here on Top Story. We'll be asking essentially from the documents that we have, indeed, the ministry was given 54 million cedis to spend in 2012, but the ministry ended up spending something in the region of 240 million cedis. The difference of 199 million cedis. They were giving 54 million. That's a budget given to the sector ministry. I'm talking about the education, the youth and sports ministry, pardon me. But they ended up spending something like 240 million cedis, a difference of 199 million. Now, the parliamentarians are questioning where was that money spent, and the ministry should indeed account for that. The MPs say, as far as they're concerned, that they've not had any details to back the 199 million cedis expenditure spent in this particular area. We will be bringing the sector minister on the line right and put a few questions to him. I'm told he's on the line. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. Free Ankara. I was just sharing with our listeners what this document that Parliament had today said. Essentially, the parliamentary document points to the overspending of the budget to the tune of some 240 million cedis. The accusation is that you have failed to account properly for these amounts. What do you say to that? Hello, sir. Hello, Mr. Ankara. Okay, he doesn't seem to hear the conversation. Hopefully, he will join us on the line. We're also hoping to speak right now to Isaac Isiama, who is he's a parliamentary, he's a ranking member of the committee in Parliament in charge of youth and sports. Isaac Isiama will join us shortly on this subject as well. But let's try again and put these questions to the Youth and Sports and Culture Minister, Free Ankara, because I'm told he's back on the line. Hopefully this time he can hear us. Can you hear me, sir? Hello, sir.
Hello.
Great.
Am I on air?
Great. Yes, you are.
Okay.
You are.
Okay.
Ms. Ankara, thank you for joining us. I was asking a question that the parliamentarians, indeed, to be very specific, Member of Parliament for Echima Impunia, who is also a member of the Youth and Sports Committee, as Isiama today, made on the floor of Parliament. The accusation is that you have failed to account properly for the overdraft to the tune of some 240 million cedis. What's your response to that?
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity. I have before me the reports of the Committee on Youth, Sports and Culture. And page 3 of that report, paragraph 6.1, states, and I read, however, at the end of December 2012, actual expenditure was 249.3.010.76. The over expenditure is attributed to an amount of 199,311,753 released through the Ministry of Youth and Sports to the Ghana Youth Employment and Entrepreneurship Development Agency, GIDA, for the payment of arrears due beneficiaries of the program. So this is a report of the committee that is made up of both sides of the House. But to elaborate, the point is that this over expenditure was for the payment of arrears due beneficiaries of the NYP since the inception of the program and for current payments. And the number of beneficiaries had increased by 400%. At the time that the NDC took office in 2009, the program had a little over 100,000 people. As we speak today, we have over 450,000 beneficiaries. And if you recall, when this program was initiated, it took account of the fact that there were social, political, and security implications of unemployment among the youth. And we all know what happened in the Arab Spring, political instability and social upheavals due to youth unemployment. And so it's as a result of that that we decided to expand the program. And as I said earlier, the program now covers over 450,000 beneficiaries. And there were arrears, and the arrears had to be paid. It's also important to note that the request that was made to Parliament in 2000 to finance in 2012 for NYEP was for 400 million. 400 million Ghana cedi. That was the request based on the projections.
Okay,
However,
we had Isaac Isiama today on the floor of Parliament say that they called you. They actually postponed the examination of the budget details because they wanted you to come with the details. And on Saturday, it claims on the floor of Parliament today that you failed to come with all these details.
That is not very accurate. What happened was that I was at a committee hearing, and the issue came up. I requested that it be made available to the committee. I was on my way to Kumasi for the Black Star, so I was told that I could leave, and I left. So as far as I got to know only today that they had not been given the details. And again, the members of the majority were disputing that because my officers also told me that they've made that information available. So for me, I think that I went there, I answered all the questions, and I had to leave because I had other engagements. My officers were asked to bring it. They tell me that they brought it to them, and I came and I saw a report that captured the reasons why there was this over expenditure.
Okay,
so that is what
indeed, I'm told right now that Mr. Siama just joined us on the telephone line. Thank you, sir, for your time. He is the ranking member of the Parliamentary Committee on Youth and Sports. We have the sector minister on the line right now. His explanation is that the 199 million cedis was indeed spent on paying arrears, salary arrears for beneficiaries of the Youth Employment Program. Are you satisfied with that explanation? Did you get this explanation?
Well, first of all, let me say good evening to your cherished, discerning listeners. I believe the Honorable Minister was in the House, was in the chamber when I was making my submissions, making my contributions, and he had all the opportunity to have told this or guess us about what he's saying now. It's strange. For us as a committee, we met the ministry to consider the estimates for 2013. And obviously, we asked questions about what we provided them last year, 2012. And that's where this over-expenditure came about. First of all, over-expenditure is illegal. It's against the Appropriation Act, and it's unlawful. So let us establish that fact. Also, the figure they told us at the committee level, they said they had paid some beneficiaries of the NUYEP or the JIDA.
Yeah.
What we ask for is that they give us details. Which enterprises did they deal with? Which companies were those funds routed through? So we asked for those details. They never came.
Were you given those details?
Pardon?
Were you given those details? The details you're asking for now?
We're not giving those details. Ask the speaker, we don't have those details. Ask the speaker, no, you ask him. Ask him to provide those details to you or face by close of the day or by tomorrow. He can't provide.
Okay, hold on.
Please,
Thankfully,
please,
he's on the line, so I'll put the question to him now. Mr. Ankra, he says that, yes, you may have used the money to pay arrears, but they're asking for details. Which models benefited from this amount? How many people? And how are they paid exactly?
Respectfully, you're talking about 199 million Ghana cedis paid for various beneficiaries under various models. What I have before me now is the report of the committee, and the report adequately captures the amount and explains that it was paid to beneficiaries.
Do you have a breakdown for that?
Can I please? Yes, of course, the breakdown is available. And indeed, my understanding is that breakdown was made available to the House. But the House, the entire House, made up of both sides, in presenting their reports, they always do a summary. Otherwise, the reports of the House will be so bulky. So this is just a summary. But those details are available. Indeed, I gave those instructions, and I'm informed that those instructions were carried out. And this report is a reflection of the deliberations of the House.
Mr. Siama, you've heard him. It's in Parliament, he says. How come you don't have it?
As we're speaking now, and I'm telling you, I'm in Parliament House. The chairman is here. He has not provided any detail. And we just dealt with the issue this afternoon. As we speak, there is no detail. When I was saying all this, he was sitting down. He never got up to defend this thing. Please, the hazard report is there. The minister was in the House when I was speaking. When I was demanding all this, I even called for the suspension of business today for them to bring all these reports. Understand? So he was in Parliament House. You see, it's not just a simple matter saying that you've engaged 450,000 people and you pay them this. No, this is just so simple to say. That's why we ask for further and better particulars that we should provide
now it's now your word against his. He says he left those details in Parliament.
Please,
let's agree on this. Would you do a bit of work in trying to get it in Parliament? And let's get feedback from you on that.
Please let me say, someone when I get this word, your people in Parliament here are supposed to, because we are still sitting. You ask them find out from Parliament. This is the August House. Documentation is supposed to be brought to Parliament. Here's where we ask for the documentations. As you speak now, nothing has come, and you come and cross-check today. We are still in Parliament House.
Okay.
Nothing has come before.
Let me ask one final question, because I just ran out of time. Mr. Ankra, can you point us in the direction? Who was this document given to exactly?
The documents are given to the leadership of the House, and they have their own processes.
So in this case, was it the majority?
I was asked at the committee sitting for the details, and he can testify respectfully that right there and then I gave those instructions right there. I did not even wait to leave. I gave those instructions right there. And when I came back yesterday night, I was briefed that indeed that information has been made available. When I got to the House and I was given this report, I was told that that is usually the format. They do a summary, and that this summary is a reflection of the discussions of the committee. So those things are within the domain of Parliament.
Okay.
Procedures, I don't know how.
And this is something that we'll follow up on, trying to locate those documents. If indeed it's in Parliament, trust you. You can trust us. We will find it. But thank you, gentlemen, for your time here on Top Story. You had the sector minister for youth and sports and culture as well, Elvis Free Ankra. Earlier, you've been listening to the MP for Chumamponia, who's also the ranking member of the Parliamentary Committee on Youth and Sports, Isaac Isiama. You've not heard the last of this, though, because we'll be checking our sources in Parliament to see if we can find the details the minister is talking about, and then bring those other details to you. You want to join us in 15 minutes on news as we interrogate this and the other pending matter, though, the 47 million spent on afforestation and guinea fowl. We'll be bringing you what we found when we sent our reporters to the ground in the 3 regions. I'm talking about the Upper West, the Upper East, and the Northern region, to find out whether indeed the guinea fowl project is underway there and what evidence indeed we were able to uncover. You want to join us on Newsnight for those other details. My name is Evan Spencer. This has been Top Story.